Knowing how to cage your corset cup is very important when it comes to corset making. In this particular tutorial, I'll be showing you how I cage my corset cup so it retains its shape without going flat. If this sounds like what you're interested in learning, keep on watching. Let's get started. So I'll be making this caging on the lining piece. This is a 3-part corset, and here is the boning I'll be working with. This is a sewable boning and is the smallest type of it. I've marked out all my allowances, like I've given 0.75 inch all around my cup, and inside this I also marked out my vertical and the horizontal lines. Okay, so I'll be caging on these lines. So you can see I've sewed in my first ridgeline bone, and you're going to be sewing on the smoothest part of the ridgeline bone. You will see the smooth surface which runs by the edges of the ridgeline boning. So that is where you're going to be sewing. I've run my first stitch on one part and then cut off my thread. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. After that, I would top stitch and then cut off my thread. Cutting out your thread is very important at this point because you don't want your work to be rough. You want it as neat as possible. Now I am done with one of the line. I will move over to the other one, as you can see, and please take note of the way I'm placing my ridgeline bone. It is very important. Okay, if you notice, I'm sewing this into the cup following the exact way that the ridgeline boning came. Can you see? Once I get to the down part, I would cut it out. I'm not going to let it exceed the line that I made right there. Okay, and I would backstitch and cut off my thread. Can you see? So I'm going to cut off my thread from both the inside and the outside, okay, just to attain neat finishing. After that, I'm going to repeat the same thing to the other parts. Now you can see that this is the vertical axis. Okay, I'm going to repeat the same thing for the horizontal part. So you can see that the shape is still intact, it's still retaining its shape. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish up with the last one, and after that I will sew on the horizontal line as well. The same way I sewed for the vertical lines is the same way I'm going to be sewing for the horizontal line. Both are the same. Okay, so I am done with that one and I've moved into the horizontal line. Can you see? And I'm still cutting out my threads as usual. So you guys, at this point I was done with the vertical and the horizontal lines. Now we are going to run our ridgeline boning all around the cup. Okay, and this will help to cover up the sharp edges of the horizontal and the vertical lines. So as you can see, I brought in a little pieces of my fabric that I'm working with. You can as well make use of a masking tape to cover it up, just so that you avoid this your boning poking on the client or poking out of the fabric. Okay, so you can see the way I'm trying to tilt my hand, rotating the boning. This might seem difficult to do, but you just have to try and make sure that you are running it on top of the edges of the horizontal and the vertical lines. Okay, so I have gotten to the other end. I will cut out extra fabric and then try as much as possible to put it underneath, and then I will continue to stitch. Can you see? So guys, you can see this is exactly how to cage on your corset cup and still maintain its shape. It is actually so simple. At this point I'm trying to sew the other parts. You know, we have two smooth points where you're going to be running your stitches. So once you're done with one part, make sure you also stitch on the other parts, and voila, this is how to work on your corset cup and still maintain its shape. Okay, it is quite very simple. Caging is essential part of making a corset and is very, very important. So do well to try this out, and you can as well send me your reports, send me a DM showing me what you've achieved. I'll see you guys in my next one.